Hello everyone, it's KaloaGames here today, and today we are doing a build for my not so berry challenge second generation. If you don't know this challenge, it's a challenge that's been around for a while in the Sims community. And this challenge was created by Lil Simsy, and I will put a link in the description if you want to check out the rules and maybe play it for yourself because it's really fun. Basically, the challenge is that in every generation you have a different colored Sims. It's a legacy challenge, so you go through several generations, and in this one each generation has its own color and some different goals, and they play different careers, and it's just a really fun challenge to do. So the sim for this generation is yellow. It's the main color, and also she's an astronaut, and she's a loner. So yeah, I think those are the most important things to know for this build. She's also ambitious and clumsy, but I tried to do this build very catered for that sim. So since she's a loner, her living space is not really big. So upstairs is gonna be like the normal house space, and just it's basically a full house. But downstairs, that hidden sunken area is where her workshop is gonna be, where she's gonna build a rocket, where she has her telescope. And yeah, basically all those things are downstairs, hidden from the outside world. Also, the upper space is not really big. She doesn't really have a lot of space for guests, so she's not gonna have many guests anyway, because she's a loner, and one of the challenges is to not have a good relationship with anyone except your grandparents. Unfortunately for my sim, her grandparents had died way before she was born. So she's never gonna have close friends, and that's very sad. This build, it took me quite a while to do because I kinda used a reference image. I don't know if I have it. I don't think I downloaded it, but I can search for it, and if I find it, I'll insert it here. But the reference picture was just the outside, like that very small, almost cabin-like outside look, which I really liked. But for a sim that is gonna build a rocket ship rocket ships are really bulky, so I needed a lot of space. So that's why I decided to do like the workshop space downstairs, and I really like how it turned out, because aside from the stairs on the outside, like from the garden, I did some hidden stairs on the inside. So the idea is that you can access the workshop area only from the stairs that are inside her bathroom. So they're really hidden, and from the outside you could access it, but I did place a what's that called? Like a fence, like the really low fences which have the, well, you'll see later on. But so Sims cannot really get into the workshop area unless you come to that second room on the, well, that was on the right, no, on the left. And that room on the left, for now, it's a... There you can see the hidden stairs. The room on the left for now, it's just storage. Because can you imagine building a rocket ship? You would have to have so much storage for all the parts, and it would take a lot of space. So I did that, but since this is a legacy challenge, she's gonna have to have a child, so that room could easily be transformed into another bedroom for the child. Here's the kitchen. It's pretty small, it's pretty simple. You don't really... I did use the good appliances, because since this is a legacy challenge, she has she's gonna have quite a bit of money from her mother and grandmother's work. In my challenge, surprisingly, all the heirs to the next generations have been female, so that's been quite fun. And yeah, you can see I'm starting to place pops of yellow everywhere, because of course it's the yellow generation. I didn't want to make the outside look too yellow, because since she's a loner and a very private person, I feel like she would have the yellow just on the inside. And also you could just use this house for some other stuff without having it be too yellow, because even though yellow is very in at the moment, it would be weird to have an all yellow modern house. Also, I chose the modern style because I don't know, I find it works better. Well, this is kinda modern, kinda industrial, because since she's doing the rocket ship, I thought some industrial could look very nice. And as you can see, I didn't really go too loud with the yellow. Like, it's there and you can see it throughout, but it's more of pops. And then the gray is also really big on this house, which is interesting because the next generation, so the child the yellow sim has, is gonna be gray. Like, that's gonna be the color of the next generation. So that's gonna be interesting, because it's gonna be really easy to, like, if I need to just renovate this house and make it more gray than it is. But yeah, so far I've done the red and yellow. In my game, the yellow sim is still a child, so I'm not gonna use this house right away because I don't have a lot of time to just play the regular game. In fact, these days I haven't had time to build or make the videos, and my computer is being difficult, so sorry for the lack of videos if you're a regular on this channel. If you're not a regular and you like these kinds of builds, feel free to subscribe so you see when I do my next build, which I hope will be sooner rather than later, but I can't promise anything right now. So yeah, as you can see, the upstairs space, it's not too small, but it's not huge. And the lounge room, it's just it's not even a room, it's just like a hallway. And I kind of wanted to keep it that way, even though I could have made the space bigger. But since she's a loner, and like in the future it's just gonna be her and maybe her child watching TV, so I had to use that rocket ship picture because she's an astronaut and she's gonna go to space and she's gonna go to Sixam, and yeah. 6M is the alien world, by the way, in The Sims. So yeah, I it was it was a challenge for sure to use mostly yellow because there's not a lot of yellow items in the game. And most of the yellow items are like this pastel yellow beige color, which I don't love. If I'm gonna use yellow, I like to use bright yellow because that pastel yellow it's just like, I don't know, just looks dirty to me for some reason. But yeah, her ensuite bathroom is pretty cool. It's really big. I would like to have this bathroom in real life, please. And also it has the stairs on the back there. They're not that hidden, but they're as hidden as I could make them. Didn't really have space to place like a door before the stairs, but there's a door with a with a with an ice can and a code thingy to access the workshop. So that's pretty cool. The top like patio area, it's kind of weird because that's not actually grass, that's just a foundation. Well, not a foundation, that's just flooring. And I put the green texture, the fake grass texture. So it behaves a little weird. Sometimes I wanted to make a fountain there, but I couldn't really do that, so I had to use a pool. That worked, thankfully. And yeah, I just make like an outside sitting area. Now you can see I'm starting to do the workshop area. So that's the door I was speaking about. And I decided to place some of these windows. I know they don't completely make sense, but they kind of work and they bring a little bit of light. You can just imagine them as vents, and you know, don't think too much about it. It's just The Sims. It doesn't have to make sense. Now I'm placing some. She also has to master the woodworking skill, and I think that's pretty cool. And so I placed the woodworking stations and some storage, because of course you need storage in a workshop. Now I struggled with this build because the downstairs was pretty big and I wasn't sure how to work around it. Oh, and you can see those are the new tables that came in the patch from a few days ago. So yeah, those tables are amazing and I love them. And yeah, at the beginning I thought about placing the rocket ship inside and having like a quote unquote system to take it outside, but you know that wouldn't really work because rocket ships, when they start building, they get quite tall. And then I decided to have like a showcasing area for all the stuff she's gonna bring from the alien world, and of course with those cool industrial shelves. I didn't want to cover up that light because I really like it and I didn't want to make it smaller either. So I just used the smaller ones. For my actual game, I'm probably just gonna delete most of the stuff off the shelves so I can fill them with collectibles and stuff my sim gets from space. And then I wanted to have like a door to the next room, which is gonna be the storage, and I was gonna place like the secure door, but it was a little too much, so I just placed like a regular door. So that's the fence I was talking about. Your Sims can't go over that fence, so you need a little bit of safety with a rocket that could launch not at any time, but pretty much at any time. I also wanted to have like some strong materials to be able to support the rocket launch. And yeah, we have a chemical analyzer, which she doesn't really need for anything. But I thought it would be interesting because that way she can analyze her whatever she gets from the alien planets and maybe discovers some more stuff. Also, we have some warning signs because what is a workshop without safety warnings? And we have a little table that looks a little medical. Now here, okay, first of all, these plants are mostly the new plants that came with Strangerville, that in the update they opened them up. You have to use the bb.show hidden objects cheat to be able to access them. But they're there, and with this I asked my brother for help because I'm not good at landscaping, and I really wanted that front garden to be really cool. So he did a little bit there. He comes back at another time to finish it because, busy lives. And yeah, right now I'm pretty much just detailing everything. I was procrastinating on doing the landscape on most of this place because it was a lot of landscape and I'm not good at it. So I just went around making sure everything was okay. There I was considering turning this into a room and having it as a room from the start, but it just didn't make sense to have an empty room or like another fully functional room if there isn't gonna live another sim here. So now I'm just lighting up the place from the outside, doing the bathrooms, which I always leave. I almost always leave them for last because they're not so fun to do. But these ones were actually pretty nice. There's no yellow toilets, or no nice yellow toilets, I discovered. So yeah, we have a lot of yellow, and it's just a bathroom, I used the same. I didn't realize I had forgotten I used those same paintings for the sitting area outside. So, but I used the different ones, so that worked. And also those glass banisters look so good. Those are from Get Famous. They work so well for half walls to make them look more like intentional. This bit of landscaping I did it myself. It's like the only bit of landscaping that I did. So here I changed the bathroom from the downstairs room because I didn't like it there in that corner. I don't remember why I changed it, to be honest, but I did. And I know we have a huge window, and a huge window to the yard for a bathroom doesn't really work. So I placed a privacy wall for the toilet and the shower, and we also add curtains so you could close the curtain. But I thought it's a nice bathroom, not conventional, but it works. Here is where I decided this was gonna be a clutter room, so we get all the crates. I imagine all the spaceship parts just on those big boxes. And yeah, of course, some more storage shelves. We can't have enough. Here that counter is there only to use a trick that you can, if you to place stuff on shelves that have weird heights, you can get an item of the same height and then just place the object on that height without having it snap. So that's why that trick I learned from, oh my god, I forgot her name, but I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna put it in the description because it's a really good video on and a really good trick. Now here's the rest of the landscaping. It did take quite a while because my brother doesn't know the controls for The Sims. He doesn't really play The Sims. So, but he does like plants and he does mostly succulent arrangements and plant stuff that I don't know anything about. So yeah. And you can't deny the little garden looks amazing. He helped me also with some of the landscaping on the inside. And yeah, but if you see the controls going a little wonky, that's why. But that's fine, you know. This little thing at the front in the picture I took for inspiration, there was just just a tree, but I really liked it because it made the house look smaller, and I really like this house that it looks very I don't know how to say that word, but it looks very private, and you wouldn't imagine that inside there's a person building a rocket ship. And yeah, so he did more little corners with all the cactuses and succulents and with some palm trees. And then here's where we were trying to do the fountain. As you can see, the fountain tool doesn't work, just floors. I think it has to be on actual terrain, sadly. So we changed it up to use a pool, and that worked. It is kind of weird because you can also see the pool from downstairs, and your Sims will probably want to swim in it, no matter how small it is. But you could place just a small fence around it, and I think they won't get into it. So yeah, this is still my brother and the controls. I gave him the idea to make the fountain, and he made it, and then he places a lot of foliage and cactuses and things back there, and also gets a nice bench. And at this point, basically the interior was finished. It was just the landscaping to be done. So he kindly helped me and I let him take over because I was pretty tired of this build at this point, because even though I really like building and I really love how this build turned out, I can't build for more than 3 hours straight, and this build was around 7 hours. So I built it in like 3 different building sessions, but building the same thing for that long kind of gets tiring. That's why I usually make smaller builds. But for this one, I really wanted to do a big one and have all the space I need and have space to expand, because when you're playing with a household, you always need space to expand. Because I don't know, maybe you want your child to do piano or something like that. Well, your Sim's child, not your child. But so yeah, you always need space to expand when you're playing. So I wanted to have a lot of space, and yeah. So he's just placing some lights, my brother, because I showed him he could look at everything in the night. and light up some places. Also, don't mind that cactus, it would get blasted, but he's a strong one and we probably won't be using the barbecue too much. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. Here I'm just fixing some things that my brother left unfinished, also realizing that the pool made a huge hole on the side of the build. And yeah, of course we need a telescope. It's an awkward item and I'm never sure how to place the telescope or where to put it, or if I should hide it or just use it as a big piece or whatever. But I just place it there. I think I move it around a little bit more so it would take up more lawn space and I wouldn't have to actually use it. Here I'm just placing some curtains. The storage area have some big storage curtains because, you know, sensitive rocket ship parts that shouldn't have sun. And I also added a closet that could work for the future, and just adding some rocks. I didn't add any plants here because of course the rocket is gonna launch here, and I could imagine it blasting the plants. So I just make a lot of rocks also too, so the foundation wall doesn't look too awkward with the rest of the lawn. And I really like how it turned out. If you like how this build turned out, please give it a like. Yeah, it's also on the gallery. My gallery ID is KaloaGames. Give it a like. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. All that jazz. You know the drill. I hope you have a very nice day, and I will leave you with the screenshots.